been a minute. I did not mean to be gone for a month, but I just, sometimes my anxiety gets really, really bad to the point where I feel like I can't do anything. And this was one of those times. So not great. And if you are also struggling with anxiety, I'm sorry. And I hope that things get better for you also, because it's not fun. I do not enjoy it. And it is not something that is easy to put a positive spin on. So I'm sorry that the video is late, but I think I've got a handle on everything now, I hope. So that's where I was. However, in the last week or so, I've actually felt, I don't know, inspired to make things, I guess. I actually started filming 3 videos? 3? I think it's 3. This is 1. This video was actually kind of an accident. I was actually trying to film something else and I got distracted and I started making this instead and I really liked it. So I just decided to turn it into its own video and then I will just finish making the video I was trying to make. And possibly another bonus one at the end because I'm prone to cutting my footage down too much. So might be able to fit 2 in here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I don't really know why, but lately I've just been really into using pom-pom balls for everything and these little fuzzy heart things that I got on Wish for $1. I've been using them as part of the mouth on the little monster characters and for some reason it just works. So there's that. And then these, I stole off another stuffed animal I made forever ago and hated, so recycling. And I guess also I'm kind of recycling the fabric because I've had these little scraps of this pink fur and I've just never used it, but I like the color so I didn't want to throw it away, and I actually managed to use all of it for this, so that's cool. But because I didn't have a ton of the fabric, I had to be kind of careful with how big I made the little monster character, so I kind of made him maybe a little more bean-shaped than I wanted, but I think it still worked out. And while I was in the middle of stitching his eyes on, somebody decided they wanted to help with the project. So to be honest, I prefer this type of fabric over a longer piled faux fur because it's a lot less messy and it doesn't get stuck when I'm trying to sew it. Also, it's really stretchy, so if you make a mistake and maybe the thing that you're making is a little lopsided, you can kind of pat it out with the stuffing and you won't even be able to tell. So that is also good. So unfortunately, because he is kind of pieced together with scrap fabric, you can see a line between his head and the rest of his body. So I thought maybe I could add something to kind of disguise it a little bit. But before I do that, he kind of needs limbs, so I'm just gonna sew him some arms and legs real quick. And there we go. So now I need to consult the giant box of art supplies and see if there's anything in there that I can use for this particular project. The first thing that I pulled out was this, which unfortunately is just a little bit too... And then I do have these smaller ones. The first one matches perfectly. The second one, when I initially saw it, I didn't like it, but now that I'm looking back at this footage, I wish I had used that color instead. And one final addition. And then instead of just sewing the bow tie directly onto the monster, I thought it would be just a little bit different to use some of these little Velcro circles that I have that I never use. And that way you can change out the bow. Now I'm just gonna stitch his limbs on, and I decided not to stuff them because I think it's funnier when they're just floppy. And now he needs the back of him. And just one more thing. I like him, he looks like a little game show host. So for the second one, I'm just gonna use some of this Antron fleece that I have saved. It's kind of like a mustardy yellow, I guess. So I'm gonna use some yellow pom-pom balls. And then I have this kind of rust colored felt and I figured that would work for the mouth color. So I'm just cutting that out. And then I'm just kind of doing a rough sketch of the shape that I wanna use, which for some reason was a tooth. So
Okay. And then I'm just gonna lay the first piece onto the second piece and trace that. Sometimes I use paper patterns, but because I wasn't really sure what shape I was gonna use for this, I just kind of, I don't know, free-handed it and then traced the other side. And then this is the mouth shape that I ended up going for instead. But because it is smaller, it's a little bit harder for the heart shape to fit onto the mouth, but I'll fix that. And then I'm just gonna quickly stitch the eyes on and the cheeks and the mouth and also the nose. And then I'm cutting the little heart shape down so that I can still use it, but it's small enough to fit. And then I'm just quickly cutting him some little arms. And then I was thinking about adding something on his head, like maybe some hair, but I wasn't really sure what yet. So before I do that, I'm just gonna quickly sew the arms together. I found some of this brown cord in my art supplies, and I thought maybe this could work for some hair strands. It looks ridiculous. And that was the plan until I realized that it kind of made him look like a little bug, so I decided to go with that. So I knotted the ends of the cord before I sewed it to the head so that it would actually stay. And then I trimmed those a little bit so that they're not quite so ridiculous. And then I thought I could add some hearts to the end of the strings to kind of like, I don't know, emphasize the bug thing. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I couldn't really decide on a color because the bright yellow was a little bit too close to the color of his nose and his cheeks, so I thought maybe use the paler color because it's a little bit different, but it still matches the mouth. So I'm just knotting the ends of this part also so that I can stitch it on the same way. And then I ended up doubling up the hearts so that you can't see the knot on the back. And then I'm just stitching the hearts together completely all the way around so that there's no opening. And then I'm just gonna quickly sew the other one together. And then I just need to attach his arms. There we go. And then I still thought he was a little bit too plain, so I thought he could be holding some little hearts also. I don't know why, I'm trying to use up a lot of my art supplies right now, can you tell? So I had a bunch of these and I just quickly stitched those together. And now he just needs the back to be attached to the front. But first, I decided that he also needed wings. So I used one of these and just cut it in half. So now he has wings. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'm just gonna stitch those together in one section so that they can still move. I don't know why they would need to, but I like having the option. I don't know. And now we can sew the back on. Perfect. And you know what happens next. And there he is. I don't know what kind of bug this is, but he looks like he's having a good time.
I'm still very much on the fence about the bow tie. I can't decide. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel, because I am not sure. I don't know. I kind of want to make more of these in different colors, but for now. So that's this week's video, and I will be back very soon with the next video because it's like almost completely done. But until then, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.